Washington Post yesterday reporting that marked classified material was found in the home of former Trump National Security Advisor Bolton. He's also formerly a Fox News contributor. So a lot of you have seen him on Fox. He's the guy with the mustache you'd seen over many years. That's not good. If that is accurate, if that reporting, I should say, is accurate, that's going to be a very tough one to explain to anyone. And he's not a former president. There's no basis for him to have declassified anything. So we can talk a little bit more about that. But I just want to note, I love when we can take a moment for just some positive news. And here is CNBC's Rick Santelli saying that, look, second quarter GDP, even a little better than anticipated. Play clip.
Now, on the GDP side, this is our third time around the block on Q2, and we see a really solid revision, 3.8%. I'm a bit shocked, to be honest. Usually the revisions, as you get to second and third, become smaller and smaller. So 3.8% would be the best quarter going back to, and we have to go back a ways here, to 4.4, and that was the third quarter of 23. Now, it is important to point out that if you look at the first quarter final, down 0.5%, there's a balance there, but the balance is moving in favor and momentum is moving in favor for better growth.
Clay, looking pretty good still on the economy, and Trump not getting much credit for it from the media for obvious reasons. But if somebody had told me at the start of his presidency, this is where the numbers would be, and this is how the markets and also how rates and inflation and everything would look at this point, it's pretty darn good. I think the president should be happy, certainly, with the progress so far we've seen in year one.
No doubt. And we've got record, basically high stock prices. You've got overall inflation continuing to come down. The much maligned impact of tariffs seem to be non-existent. All of the experts are now, Buck, as you watch, coming out and saying, hey, well, we haven't seen the pricing impact that we thought from the tariff situation. The overall interest rates are coming down. Jerome Powell is behind on being able to do that, but we just got the quarter point decline. There's a forecast of a couple of more declines on interest rates and then going into next year. So I would suspect that you're going to see 15 and 30-year mortgages continue to come down, which is going to help to free up. I think we were talking about this off air, the degree to which the housing market has been just frozen to a large extent because, look, if you were fortunate enough to get one of those 2.5% or 3% mortgages, you don't want to move. And if you were unfortunate enough to buy and have a 7% mortgage, I'm telling you, you're going to start to see a lot of movement as those mortgage rates get down to 4.5%, 5%. And there starts to be less of a major difference in potentially moving, selling homes. I think when the housing market just kind of gets unlocked and it starts to move freely as a more liquid asset class, I think you're going to see a lot of rapid growth. But 3.8% growth is amazing. Look, there's two ways to balance the budget. One is to essentially cut spending in a massive way. That's what Doge was trying to do. I'm just going to tell you, there is no political will to massively cut spending. Democrats aren't going to do it. Republicans aren't going to do it. And this is where I think Elon Musk is correct. So how do you get about balancing the budget? You have to grow the economy. And you have to grow the revenue that the growing economy is going to produce. I think that's where Elon now is saying, hey, AI is going to potentially be so transformative in what it provides to the overall economy that we're just going to have to grow our way to get past the ballooning national deficits because people like things. And when you give them things, they do not want to get them up.
Santa Claus is very tough to compete with. Getting free goodies that you don't have to pay for over and over again. And people get it's funny too, because everyone wants to cut. It's like everyone's a hero when it comes to the budget until you actually talk about what has to be cut from the budget. And then we have some big problems. All right. So this is what I wanted to play before. I just wanted to know this was just said by President Trump. Now, just to set this up, Clay. So we've had the Charlie Kirk assassination, which we are all still dealing with the trauma and the heartbreak of that. honestly, also the processing of how many lunatics are out there who were celebrating such a horrific event that's also in a way its own trauma, I think, as an American, and much lesser than seeing what happened with Charlie. But for a lot of people, it's brought it home to them as well that there could be anybody they know in their life, or so that would celebrate such a horrific thing. There's that. There's now we'll have more details on this to share with everybody, more reporting on it. But the guy who killed 2 migrants at the ICE facility. So this guy is anti-ICE, but he killed 2 migrants being processed in an ICE facility because he just opened fire. So this is, I mean, it's horrible no matter what, but also you just add this person is such a gross and evil individual that he killed. He's upset about what's happening to migrants, so he killed 2 of them. It's
the FBI has released a couple of more data points on that guy. We try to avoid naming these guys, so I'm not going to do that. But he downloaded the list of DHS facilities. This is according to Libs of TikTok. Repeated searches on the Charlie Kirk shooting, tracked ICE agent movements through apps, and had a handwritten note saying, quote, "Hopefully this will give ICE agents real terror." So anyone out there who is trying to argue that this is anything other than yet another left-wing shooter motivated by left-wing political arguments is being dishonest to you. And again, that is the absolute latest in terms of the FBI investigation that they have reported.
So this is cut 27. Trump spoke about, cut 26, 28. Trump spoke about this left-wing violence play.
Both the uptick in left-wing violence.
Radical left rhetoric. The radical left is causing the problem. They're out of control. They're saying things, and they're really dumb people. I mean, I look at Crockett. I look at some of these people. They're very low IQ people, actually. But the radical left is causing this problem. Not the right, the radical left. And it's going to get worse, and ultimately it's going to go back on them. I mean, bad things happen when they play these games. And I'll give you a little clue. The right is a lot tougher than the left. But the right's not doing this. They're not doing it, and they better not get them energized, because it won't be good for the left. And I don't want to see that happen either. I'm the president of all the people. But the radical left is causing this. The radical left Democrats are causing this problem, and it gets worse. It gets worse, and it'll be a point where other people won't take it anymore, and that will not be good for the radical left. We don't want that.
Play. I just appreciate that the president is saying it in the most plain-spoken, straightforward, no nonsense way possible. He's like, the left is the problem, guys. The left are the ones doing the violence. All right, look, Pure Talk is fantastic because they support this program and have as a sponsor from day one. And they encourage us to speak our truth, to speak openly and honestly and expressing opinions. And we thank them for sponsoring a forum like this one that welcomes viewpoints of the listeners here and a honest and fair exchange of ideas. Pure Talk's all about free speech. And they also happen to be our cell phone service provider, and they should be yours too, because they allow programs like this one to exist with their support. And also, they've got the best customer service and the best prices out there. So if you want to support brands that defend freedom and pro-American values, we encourage you to switch your wireless service to Pure Talk. You're going to get great 5G coverage on an extremely reliable and secure network. And with plans starting from just $25 a month, you'll save a ton of money. Pure Talk also believes in creating American jobs and supporting small business. So if you're a small business owner, you can save even more while enjoying white glove service. Stand with companies like Pure Talk who stand with you and your values. Dial pound 250, say Clay and Buck to make the switch to Pure Talk. Right now, you'll save an additional 50% off your first month. Dial pound 250, say Clay and Buck to switch to Pure Talk today.